Welcome back to the Rogue Recap. This week in surf news, we are looking back at some of the heaviest, most progressive moments from around the surf world. And yet again, the surf world delivered. From the infamous Florence Slab Tour continuing in South America to legends splitting roll-ins on the North Shore, here's our Rogue Recap faves. We begin south of the equator in the green, frigid waters of Northern Chile, where 2/3 of the Florence brothers continue Nathan's Slab Tour into 2025. Nathan and Ivan managed to show up to a wave they've never even surfed before, and, maybe get the best wave of the year so far. Have a look at this Teahupo'o-like cave that Ivan got that appeared to blow many of the locals' minds. Due west in the deep South Pacific, Koa Smith and Co. absolutely scored an early season south swell at Cloudbreak, Fiji. A perennial standout at Pipeline, by the looks of this recent edit he put out, Koa had no problem staying comfortable in the dozens of 6 to 8 foot dream tubes he collected with his friends from the swell. Speaking of Pipeline standouts, Mason Ho just dropped a pretty groovy edit from a session at V-Land on the North Shore, sharing roll-ins with none other than his Pipe Master Pops Michael Ho and sister Coco, and, 11-time world champion Kelly Slater. The other cameos in attendance, it was quite the busy pack that day, but damn did it look like a fun surf, as most of Mason's do. Cut back to Central America, where the forecast is still materializing for the long haul, but the Surf City El Salvador Pro waiting period begins April 2nd. A CT event that's always a must-watch, thanks to the Punta Roca point break perfection. Will two-time event winner and world champion Caroline Marks bag a hat trick this year with her third in a row? We'll just have to wait and see. Speaking of women warriors, our collective hats off to CT vet and Olympian Tatiana Weston-Webb, who announced her sabbatical from the tour for the rest of the year to get her mind right. We support her honesty and vulnerability and having the true bravery to bring this subject to light with the courage of taking some action.
Made a decision to step away from the championship tour for the rest of the year, and I think this will be a really good thing because it's not the end, it's the beginning of the next chapter for me.
Hoping to see you next year on tour, of course, Tati. Lastly, what a pleasant surprise this clip of Tahitian Eimeo Czermak was, getting a few amazing tubes at Pipeline earlier in the week, a month after a harrowing wipeout in February that actually fractured his spine. Dude's looking pretty informed to us, all things considered, right? Before we go, we wanted to remind you that coming next month, the Rogue TV show is launching, highlighting the winter's best rides, standout moments of the month, and what's coming next in the surf world. Stay tuned.